the player.
Greetings, Colecovision fans. This is Josh here with Colecovision's podcast, and I have a special privilege today of doing an unboxing of a new great homebrew released by Collectorvision Games. So it was my 30th birthday last month, and I had some friends come up. It was great, and William actually was kind enough to gift me a game. So it is my great pleasure to be able to review this game for you guys, and because William sent it to me as a gift, I'm really excited that I get to open it up for the first time. So just to prepare yourselves, Collectorvision does a great job of making new homebrew games. So they actually do the full package, the box and everything. So I've got it here. I'm going to pull it out so you guys can take a look. And if you can't tell already, I'm super excited because this is one of my favorite games. So without further ado, let's bust it out, shall we? So the game is Galaga. So this is a brand new port of the game Galaga for the Colecovision. And as you can see, this box is amazing. So I'm doing this on a GoPro, so if you see some distortion from the fisheye lens, that's why. It is perfectly square. Sorry about that. But this box is amazing. It looks just like a box that would have come out back in the early 80s. And here's the back of it. Galaga from Namco. Super video game cartridge for use with the ColecoVision game system. Plays sounds and scores just like the video game. And you can see at the bottom there, it tells you how to play. And it also has a little official Coleco logo on there. And on the front, in the corner down here, it says Super Game Modules required. So that's, sorry. The Super Game Module is something that we've talked about on the podcast before. It's an expansion for the Coleco system that they're doing a third production run of right now. So check it out on Atari Age and you can get it. But it expands the capabilities of your system. It adds from 1 kilobyte of RAM for the CPU up to 32, and it adds new sound channels. So, man, I can't tell you guys how excited I am to break this open and start playing. This is great. So on the front, it's got the Galaga logo, just like you would see on the arcade cabinet. It is a picture of the full arcade cabinet, and it looks spot on. I mean, they did a great job on the graphic design of this. And then it looks like a big blammo exclamation exploding on it, like the front of some of the other games would. High resolution video cartridge for the ColecoVision. So yeah, they did a great job on the design of this. And on the side, it also shows the game logo. And again, it says high resolution video game cartridge for use with the ColecoVision console. They even have a number on the side here, 9959. I'm curious what that might be in reference to, but I'm sure they had a reason for it. So on the back, it says, here's how to play. You're under attack. The Galagans are reclaiming planets. The Galagans are reclaiming planets they lost during a centuries-old interstellar war, and now they want yours, and they're ready to fight to the bitter end to protect it. So you join the intergalactic warrior fleet without training. You're assigned to your first combat mission, and on the job is always the best way to learn. Shaking in your boots, you accept the assignment and board your intergalactic command ship. Trademark and copyright 1981 Namco, all rights reserved. 1988 Bug Byte Software Limited, all rights reserved. Made in Canada by Collectorvision Games, Montreal, Quebec, 2014. Copyright 2014. So yeah, this is one of the early release titles for the Super Game Module. So what do you say we crack this bad boy open, huh? This is going to be awesome. It's just amazing that I got a brand new ColecoVision game in box. I feel like a little kid. This is awesome. Thanks again, William. This is really cool. So I'm going to be really careful here. I don't want to bend the box because I want to preserve this. This is really cool. So if you guys will just bear with me for a second here. There we go. Oh man, this is the real deal, guys. Take a look in there. You got the styrofoam and the Colecovision logo and the Galaga logo. That's awesome. It's tightly packed in there. So I'm gonna pull the game cartridge out. Oh man, look at this. Oh man, look at that. That is beautiful. Wow, they did an excellent job with this. And you can, man, the build quality of this is awesome. It's nice, thick black plastic, just like you'd feel on a regular cartridge of old. And you can see it's angled in there, just like a regular one would be. Man. It says trademark and copyright 1981 Namco, all rights reserved. Pretty much the same thing it said on the box. And in the bottom there, it says revision A. I don't know if you can see it in green text there. Wow. This is great. I can't wait to fire this up. All right. Let's see what else we've got in the box. Oh man, this is awesome. We've got an instruction booklet in full color. Wow. That's amazing. Man, it feels like a magazine or something. This is really nice stock. They printed this out, and there's some awesome artwork on the back. Stop the Galagan invasion. Destroy all alien spaceships. Coleco. And it even has a guide number up in the corner. Wow, they really took some time on this one. This is great. You've got instructions here. Oh wow, man. That is too cool. Take a look at that, guys. This looks just like a manual, and they actually have the diagram over here, the diagram of the ColecoVision, just like they did in all the other manuals. And they actually put the game label on the cartridge in the picture. There it is. So the game instruction booklet, man, all of this is just, you wouldn't know that this just came out. You know, you'd think that this was actually back from there because they did everything really in this awesome retro style. And it's got it even tells you to make sure that your console's connected to a TV and it's connected to the AC outlet. I mean, it's got everything on here. And it even has some in-game screenshots in full color. And it explains the rules of the game. Defending the planet, you start the game with 3 command ships. One at the line of battle and the others in reserve at the right of the screen. Slide your command ship to the right and to the left to dodge Galagan missiles. At the same time, fire intergalactic missiles to protect your ship. You may lose a ship when it's hit by Galagan missiles or collides with the enemy. Galagans attack in a series of waves, each fiercer than the one before. And then it shows the different enemies. And it shows their names, which I actually didn't know before, so that's kind of cool. The Galagan ships are easy to identify. Butterflies are the lowest rank, wear red. Bees are outfitted in blue, and the boss Galagans are the highest rank, wear green. So it actually tells you the backstory of the game. It tells you about the strategy, and they have a picture of the ship getting sucked up. Sorry, there by the Galaga. That's really cool. It actually looks really great in the screenshot. Look at the colors on that. Wow. And it explains the scoring as well. It tells you how many points you get for killing each one. And it says, the fun of discovery. This instruction booklet will provide basic information you need to get started playing Galaga, but it is only the beginning. You will find that this cartridge is full of special features that make the game very exciting to play. Experiment with different techniques and enjoy the game. We certainly will, won't we? Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to fire this thing up. This is going to be sweet. I could not be happier with the production quality of this. I mean, this is amazing. Just the cartridge, the book, the box, and everything. And I know for certain I've got a couple friends that have tried to release things before and that these boxes are particularly expensive to produce. So it's really neat that they went out of their way to do the graphic design on these and to print them. It's just it can be very expensive to do this, and I mean, just the fact that they've reproduced it exactly like it would be for probably about the same price you would have paid back then is pretty cool. It kind of takes you back in time. So great job so far, Collectorvision. Let's get into the game and see how it fares, eh? Okay, everybody, I am ready to fire this thing up. I am really excited, I can't tell you. Man, this is going to be awesome. So, I've got my Galaga game in the system, and I've got my Super Game module plugged into the front of the console. So, this is looking pretty awesome. We're going to fire it up. Oh, wow, that's cool. So, the Collectorvision logo comes up just like the Colecovision ones, in multiple colors across the top. So they kind of, I think they're kind of poking fun at the Colecovision logo. And in big blue letters, the name Galaga comes up. This is great. So we've got a score and high score at the top of the screen in red, with white characters underneath that, just as I would think from the arcade game. I know and love the arcade game. I've played it a bit. I've not played it too recently, so I'm not directly comparing that side by side, but I'm kind of going off of my memory of what I remember, and this looks great. So we also got a star field moving in the background, which is really cool looking. It says press button, Namco in red, and then it's got copyright 1981, 1984, Namco Limited, all rights reserved. So I'm going to pick up my joystick here, and I'm going to hit fire. All right. Oh, man. So we've got the Galaga theme playing. It sounds great. It just started right up. And here we go. It says stage 1. And you get the little icon there to show you what stage you're on. Oh, man. This is great. Wow. So the spaceship sprite at the bottom of the screen looks exactly like the arcade game to me. This is great. And it's moving pretty smoothly back and forth. And I've got to say that these sounds are great. It sounds very close to the arcade, what I remember from the arcade. Especially the little sound that it makes when it switches stages. Man, this is a really good version of the game. Wow, this is a great port. So I'll say that the sprites are moving along very nicely. There's not really any hesitation. The controls feel very, very responsive. And the spaceship sprite is dead on. Okay. Oh, I just got my Galaga ship captured. And it plays the little riff there when you get captured, just like in the arcade. Oh, and I died. Yep. It's got about the same sound there. So, oh man, they've even got the end theme with the number of shots fired, the number of hits, the hit to miss ratio down to the 10th. I'm sure that was fun to program the math. Oh wow, this is great. I'm digging the music, guys. Yeah, it's pretty close to the arcade. Wow. So I am gonna hit fire again, and let's see if I can get a little further. So it looks like it's starting me off with 3 lives. And wow, it's really amazing because just like in the arcade game, you know, you've got, it looks like maybe 6 or 8. Maybe even 10 enemies that are, you know, swooping down from the top of the screen, just like in the arcade game, and there is like no hesitation on it. I mean, they're just coming right out, just like in the arcade game, with really no hesitation at all. Wow! Now you've got 2 squadrons coming at the same time and crossing over. Wow, this is awesome. So, I don't know if you guys are aware, but the Colecovision system, the video chip in it does have some limitations. I've actually started doing a little bit of programming myself just so I could have a better appreciation for the work that these developers are doing. And one of the limitations of the video chip is that the sprites themselves, which, you know, usually the moving characters that you see on the screen, the sprites can only be one color. So that's why the enemies on this, like the Galaga, it's all one color. So far, all the enemies I've seen have all been a single solid color, and that's the reason for that. So that's just a limitation of the system. So you really can't fault them for that. And actually, you'll notice that the Galaga ship itself looks like it is. I think it is two colors. It looks like it's white and red. So the way that you do that is you actually have to layer two sprites on top of each other. But you can only have so many sprites per horizontal line. Oh wow, this is great. So they do have the bonus stage in here. And they even have the little echo on the sound at the end, well, on the song at the end. Wow, man, this is great. And I believe, if memory serves me, that bonus stage was an exact duplicate of the stage from the arcade game. So I normally do play a little better than this guy. Sorry, but I'm a little extracted. I'm just like super excited that I'm playing a really sweet version of Galaga on my Colecovision. So anyhow, yeah, I was just bringing up the fact that, you know, the limitation with the system on the sprites. So that's why all the enemies are a single color rather than multiple colors. Because I believe in the arcade game they did have multiple colors, but that's just because it's a limitation of the system. So, you know, it's neat that they kind of stayed within the confines of what the actual original video hardware can do. You know, they didn't add another video chip on it or anything like that. They're staying true to the original system architecture and just capitalizing on that. And I did notice that the large Galaga, when I shot it, it did change colors. So that's cool. They actually swapped out the colors on that. So I'm sure that took a little bit of extra effort. And man, this is great. When your ship explodes, it's like a really big explosion. It's pretty cool. So I'm glad that they put the bonus stage in there. So far, it seems exactly the same. And I think even like the number of enemies and which side of the screen they come in on, it seems all accurate to me. So either it's exact or it's very close, because honestly I can't tell the difference. Yeah, this is great. And I'm not seeing any flicker either. So this is all nice and smooth. We've got, wow. And the number of points that you score do come up, just like in the arcade game. When you kill certain enemies that are worth a lot, you get a little number for the score. Oh man, this is awesome. This bonus stage is always tough. It's really neat that the starfield is continuing to move too while it's going through the bonus stage information, and it's counting up your score and everything. That's really impressive. Oh, I died. Man, this is quick. I'm telling you guys, this is... Man, they didn't mess around with this. This is full speed ahead Galaga, man. You guys have got to be prepared for this. And the enemies are even kind of drifting apart, almost like a large mass of enemies expanding and contracting, just like they do in the arcade game. You know, they're not staying in little predefined squares. They're actually kind of freely floating about, like they do in the arcade. So, man, that is another really cool feature. Well, guys, overall, I've got to say, I'm really impressed with this game, especially considering, I mean, there's versions of Galaga on a lot of the different home systems. I believe there's one on the 7800 and on the NES. And I just remember the one on the NES I was really, really disappointed with when I got it because I had just been playing the arcade game. I don't remember the specifics as to what I was disappointed in. I guess that would be helpful for this conversation, but I just remember being disappointed, thinking that the NES really could have done more than what they did with it. But to be honest, I was kind of surprised that they put this game on the Colecovision just because of how many enemies you have in a single line across the screen horizontally. I've seen 6, and there's probably even more if you don't shoot them as they come in and they go up into their formation at the top of the screen. I'd imagine you could probably have 8 or 10 across. And again, a hardware restriction on the system is 4 sprites per scan line, so horizontally, in a row. Otherwise, you kind of have to do a trick to program and make it flicker, which they may have done here, but I didn't see it. So either they found a way around it, or they found a way to make it so that it's not really visible, to where it doesn't show up or affect the game in any way. So, kudos to Collectorvision, because this is not an easy game to program, considering, you've got multiple squadrons of enemies coming in and doing loops at the same time, and some shooting at you while you're moving left and right and trying to shoot. I mean, there's a lot going on the screen at the same time. And it's really cool that they were able to make this the Z80 processor just scream and run right through it and play the game really smoothly. Even with all the explosions and the scores showing up as the enemies die, the other enemy that splits into multiples. I mean, it's all there. They got everything. They've got the sounds. They've got the bonus stages. They've got the right enemies coming in at the right time in the right fashion. They've got all the artwork seems accurate to the game. I mean, they really captured everything that I remember from the arcade game, and they've put it onto the ColecoVision, and it's really amazing what they were able to do with this system. So I am thoroughly impressed, and I'm hooked. I've beaten the high score. It was really awesome when I got the extra life. They even played the sound there. And that's another thing too, it's great hearing those sounds when you know that, you got an extra life, or you've made it to the next level, or you're in a bonus stage. They really captured it, and it really just kind of throws you right back into that arcade mode, where you're just kind of Twitch gaming, and you're trying not to die so you don't lose your quarter, even though obviously you don't need one on here. But yeah, I've got to say I am thoroughly impressed, guys. So. This is definitely a game that you should check out on Collectorvision's site and see if you guys can snag a copy, because it is definitely really addicting. So thanks again to William for providing this game, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how high I can score. If you guys have a copy of this, post on our page, shoot us an email, let us know what your high score is. See if you can beat my 55,200, although I'm pretty sure I can get up over 100 if I work on this a little bit more. So, guys, I just want to say thanks for listening, and there are a few things that I wanted to clarify from our last episode. Eduardo was kind enough to write a message to clarify a few things on the last game I reviewed, the Pac-Man collection. If you've not heard that episode, go back and give it a listen, and I'm going to read his comments just to make sure we have the information correct, straight from the developer. So we've got comments here from Eduardo Mello. He was kind enough to actually comment on our Facebook page on our episode 2 of Homebrew Highlights, where we reviewed his game from Opcode Games, the Pac-Man collection. So Eduardo wrote, this was fun. A few remarks. Super Pac-Man is not included, instead Pac-Man Plus. So he was clarifying. I was confused. I think I called it Super Pac-Man, which is a different arcade game. And Pac-Man Plus was also an arcade game. But he's just clarifying that the extra game on the cartridge is Pac-Man Plus. And this game was not developed for the MX computer. It was created for the ColecoVision from scratch. He planned to port it to the MSX, but that never happened. And Pac-Man Collection is currently sold out, but a new revamped version is planned for later this year. So guys, definitely look forward to seeing this one. I'm really excited. I absolutely love the version that I played, so getting a new version is, wow, I can't imagine what they could possibly improve on it, to be honest. But I'm excited to see what it is, because the version I played is really, really cool. So, yeah, Eduardo actually did write the entire game from scratch, and it's really amazing. I just wanted to give my final thoughts on the game. So I have to say that Galaga really is a great port. It's got everything. Got all of the graphics, all of the sound, and all the gameplay, really. I'd say on the graphics, you know, they're as close as they can be. They don't completely blow you away, but they've got all the elements of the game represented as best as the hardware would allow. And I'd have to say that, you know, all of the game rules and features, so like the way that the scoring works, the bonus levels, even the rules as to how to actually get your ship back when it's getting taken up by the Galaga, how you have to wait till the enemy dives down before you shoot it. They really paid attention to all the little nuances and rules of the game to make sure that it plays the same as it does in the arcade. So I'd say they really captured the game, all of the gameplay, you know, the original arcade, and brought it home for us in this awesome port. You know, hats off to Collectorvision, and it actually looks like it may have been programmed by Opcode Games, so hats off to them as well. And I'd say definitely give this one a shot. It's a really great game if you're a fan of Galaga and you want to be able to play it on your Colecovision. This will definitely scratch that itch for you. Again, I can't say enough how impressed I am that they were able to pull this off on the ColecoVision. So thanks everybody for listening. If you want to check us out on the web, you can visit us at ColecoVisionspodcast.com. You can also look us up on Facebook under ColecoVisions Podcast, or you can shoot us an email at ColecoVisionspodcast@gmail.com. And thank you very much for listening.
You are the player, 'cause your vision is our vision. The player. Sorry.
I play on Colecovision.
You are the player. You are the player.